Welcome, everybody, to the Convo with Crown podcast show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode. And, man, me and this dude been talking for like an hour and a half now. Like, almost two. Like, we gonna get into all the other shit. We gonna really get into the behind technical difficulties. But listen, we are here, man, and I want to really get down to. We gonna get down to defining ourselves because this is what we just talked about or whatever prior to really airing. So, this man is a serial entrepreneur, man. I mean, I've been knowing him for years, and for the years I've known him, he's always been a getting money nigga. Like, he's always been getting money. He's a pioneer. Like, you gotta get this man his flowers for real. He's a pioneer in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's done so many national things as well and has like shined the light on the city. And I feel like he deserves a lot of recognition for that. So I'm gonna use my platform to shine as much light as we can on it. And we go down this rabbit hole of how do you define this man? Like I said, if you from the city of Milwaukee, then you know him. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know him personally, then you have for sure patronized one of his businesses as some extent. So without further ado, let's give it up to my main man, Mr. The world is watching. Yes, sir. Devon D, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Devon D is in the house. Yes, sir.
Hey, the world is watching. What up, y'all? The world is watching. It's me, your boy Devon D. Yo, man, God has blessed me, man. To see another day, man. He ain't make no mistake, so I ain't gonna wake up like I woke up by one.
Right. How you doing, man? We finally getting to it.
Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We've been talking for a while, y'all. Like, just really diving in and just really going into the depths of the vault of the history of things I haven't remembered in a long time or talked about in a long time, man.
Man, you've done so much, bro, and I need you to really go down this rabbit hole. Like, where did it all start? Like I told y'all, he's a serial entrepreneur. He's done so much. So when we were talking about defining, like, how do you define what you do? And let's start off first and foremost of where did your entrepreneurial journey start? Like,
I started in 1994.
1994. You showing your age a little bit.
Right. 1994, I was in high school. And it was just two things that I knew I didn't want to do in life. And one was go to college. I didn't want to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I didn't want to do was sell drugs. I didn't want to go to college because I didn't like high school. Hated it.
Yeah.
Went to sleep in every class. I only graduated because my mom, was really important to her. My cumulative was a 0.766.
A what? A what?
A 0.766.
Boy, you was going in there to specifically go take naps.
Yeah.
You was like,
I couldn't stay at home because my mama was gonna kick my butt for not going to school. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll just go to school and I'll go to sleep there."
Man, what? So, like, how, like, as a mother, well, how was she receptive to that? Like,
she was.
She was a
know.
hard head. Like,
she didn't know. She didn't know. Well, she found out, but she didn't know at first. My mom worked a lot. She worked for she drove the city bus, so she went to work at like 3 a.m. So she never seen me go to school. When I come home from school, she's still at work. So we never really interacted throughout the day for years because she was just trying to take care of me. So, and especially after, she left my pops. So, yeah, she didn't really know. But in my senior year when she came, she just popped up at the school one day and was just like, "Let me talk to your counselors and your teachers," and found out that I wasn't finna graduate.
So you was smart because you could have just stayed at the crib. Like
Getting
really, but you went to school to be to get the attendance
I
that
wasn't
you.
gonna stay at the crib. You, Miss Mitchell, come in that house.
Uh,
Oh hell no!
no,
She
I'm
gonna
saying 'cause
beat the fuck out you.
like she would have been at work most of the majority of the time that you was.
But she got these things called split shifts.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, okay.
sometimes during the day she can come home at any time. But
Got
I know that it's gonna be either between like 11 and 2.
you. Okay.
So, but any time between that time, it could be any time. So I'm
Mm.
like, nah, I ain't finna play with that.
So you remember?
But yeah, so I knew not to be at the crib when she came back off her split shift because it could be any time. You at the crib, then you was supposed to be at school. You can toe up. So I at least was just like, I'm gonna just go to school and lay on the desk and I'm gonna sleep there. But she came to school, popped up one day, found out I wasn't finna graduate, and I just saw the look in her face, and I'm like, for the woman who go slave for me every day, I can't let her feel that disappointment. So I went in there and aced every exam and graduated.
So you was just in there bullshitting in school, like you knew that you was capable of doing it, but
Oh yeah, I knew. I tested it out freshman every first semester of every year. I would test out just make sure I knew what was going on.
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I know this, I know that. Math was my thing, so I made sure I knew all the math. I was only competing with the Asian girls because they was killing in math. But other than the Asian girls, I love math. But other than that, I really didn't care. Um, and like I said, I was just there. I was really just there. I knew I wanted to do something else, so I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where I was going to get the money to do it from. So you ever get those AOL discs that used to come in
Yeah,
the
they
mail?
used to always come in the mail.
So that's what I did. I took one of them AOL discs though, bro,
mm-hmm.
and put it in my little e-machine. Used to sell them at Walmart, e-machines,
Mm-hmm.
little cheap computer, right? Put the AOL disc in there. You get the free trial, right? The trial lasts you maybe 30 days, 7 days, 14 days, whatever. And you get internet for them days. Yeah, you know how I go, right?
The slow ass dial.
Slow up.
But for the kids that
but
don't know.
Xerox had this program called Free Color Printers. And I'm like, yo, I'm finna get one of these free. And it printed like a commercial printer. You thinking this came from like Xerox themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, they got this free color printer program where all you gotta do is put in this information. They ain't ask for no money, ask for nothing. Ask for an address. And this big old box came and this free big printer came in there. So I'm like, yo, I'm finna take this printer and I'm finna start like designing stuff, and I'm gonna start taking it into these businesses. I start taking they materials, all they business cards, flyers. I go to the crib, I redesign it, take it back, show them what they got, show them what they can have, and I will win every time. So I had to I started off trying to do music though. My passion was music. I played the violin for 6 years. I was a second chair violinist. Um, I ended up going to Milwaukee High School of the Arts. And I was a technical theater major. I was supposed to go for violin, but I got scared of the audition, so I went for technical theater. So again, I did love the stage and acting and the behind the scenes, light boards, sound boards. I love that. So on ladders, park cans, I did that.
Right.
So um, so I just know I wanted to do something more. So I just took all that information and I just started saying, you know what? I'm not finna sell no drugs. I know I ain't finna go to college, but I know I'm not finna be no bum either. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out. And like I say, my whole life has been just really a lot of figuring it out. A lot of people look at it like it was strategy, like he did this, then he went to that. This shit was just figuring it out. Like how I ended up getting a $1.2 million recording studio in West Dallas was because I had a DR5 and a Casio keyboard in that same E machine. and I would just take it inside all the community centers and the therapy clinics, and I would teach kids how to make beats on a DR5 and a Casio keyboard.
Wait, so you just ran past that like that was just something to run past. You said a $1.2 million studio. How old were you when you got access to that? And can you like because
Yeah,
we just talked about the story, so
yeah.
I want you to tell people
Oh yeah.
how you got that plug.
So as I had the Casio keyboard and the DR5 that I had in my mom's basement, that she was coming down the stairs every day yelling, talking about go get a job because she wanted me to just have a 401k and some insurance plan when I retire, I guess.
Hmm.
But I'm like, man, that shit don't sound secure. So I had to ignore my mom. I know she loved me so much. Every day yelling at me, telling me to get out of her house and go get a job. And I would have to like stick to what I knew that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I would take all that equipment to community centers and therapy clinics.
Hmm.
I I used to work with at-risk youth and just community boys and girls, and just show them how to be able to express their feelings through music. So I teach them how to make the beats and then write the words. You know what I mean? Just it's like poetry. We learn limericks and all this stuff in school. So I would just teach them like, yo, this is how you write a bar. This is how you write a 4 bar. This is
Hmm.
how you write an 8 bar. This is how you write a 16 bar. You know what I'm saying? Just so they can understand the structure of music. And one day I was in this therapy clinic, and down the hall they was building this $1.2 million record. I didn't have 1.2 cent.
Hmm.
they, they was building a one
Right,
point two
right,
million dollar
right,
recording studio down the hall.
right.
When they got done after my program was like, I was still in my program, and they came down the hall and was like, "Hey, we done with this. We want to meet with you." And I went down there, and it's a studio like Dr. Dre built it. It was like everything, like
Damn, shut
three
up.
three booths, full live room, snakes everywhere. Like this before I knew what snakes and all that stuff was, but
Mm.
like they brought me in there. Dude looked at me. He was like, "You like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And gave me some keys and walked away.
Just like that, black dude or white dude.
White dude. It couldn't be no black dude.
Hey, hey, oh, listen.
You knew it couldn't be no black dude.
I kind of wanted to get to that.
White dude. He gave me the keys and didn't come back for like a week or two. I didn't even know how to turn the stuff on. So what I thought at the first moment when he gave me them keys, let me call everybody from 53206.
He thinking like a nigga for real. He just got an opportunity from a white man, and he want to think like a nigga.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, they crossed my mind. I swear it did. Like, let's just clear him out. He don't know me. What you mean? Like, he ain't coming over there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What?
but
What
again,
made you not?
something else said this is an opportunity. And what you could learn from this is something that could be more valuable than whatever you could take.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Let me understand that God has put me in position as He always has, and I never been really about that life. So let me not act like I've been a robber. Let me
Hey.
let me stop acting like
You
that.
about to jump in some shit you didn't know about for real?
For real, for real.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let me take this opportunity. Let me learn. I'm around 5 or 6 guys who went to the best recording and audio and video colleges in the country.
Mhm.
Full Sail.
Full. Oh yeah, that's in that full sale. Yeah, yeah.
I told
Full
you it was gonna
Sail.
come. They went to all the best recording colleges in the country, and I get to be around that for free.
Mm.
And made me an owner, made me a part owner, put me on the deed to build everything, made me full ownership of this as a business. And I ran that studio for 10 years. That's where I learned how to record death metal. That's where I learned how to record rock. That's how I learned how to record bands. Again, I was around the knowledge. So again, I just started taking the knowledge. That's when I started doing commercials for Walgreens and Stacy Adams and Kohler and Coles and things like that. And I'm like, I felt like I was the gatekeeper. So I'm the dude like, I'm inviting all the cats off Atkinson, off the east side,
Right.
all them places you name, all them cats. I'm inviting them all. Yo, I got $1.2 million recording studio. Come on. They can't even record. They can't even afford the recording time. So I'm sneaking them in at odd times. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving them, they paying for 2 hours, but I'm giving them six. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to see cats win. You know what I'm saying? Same cats that snitched on me and told on me too. The crazy part, but
Wow.
crazy part. But
That's something.
but you know what I'm saying? Again, like I understood that, the people who gave me this opportunity didn't understand our world. And the people in our world, I'm trying to give them this opportunity so they can understand that they can be bigger than what our world is showing them. You know what I'm saying? And I always found myself in rooms and in positions that's like, yo, y'all, why they ain't teach us this when we was in high school? Why ain't tell us, you know what I'm saying? As my boy Will Roundtree, the shit they didn't tell you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Shout out to Will. How difficult is that to make that connection, like with the hood, and then like you learning a whole different like way of living, like basically, like you know what I'm saying? They exposing you to a whole new world, and you trying to bring your guys from the hood. How difficult is that to piece that
It
together?
was difficult when your guys and them couldn't understand where they was at sometime and the position they needed to play at the time. It made it difficult. That it was never difficult for me, and that's why always you always see me with my hat to the back. I used to wear my hat to the back to every corporate meeting. I wanted you to identify me as whatever you thought. Because again, I want you to know that I'm here for a reason. I must have some value if I'm sitting at this desk, even though my hat is to the back and I'm looking like what you might have thought was a thug.
Right. Right.
I'm letting you know that we got value too.
Right. So that was more of a statement for what we are perceived like.
It was definitely a statement the entire time, and I had to wear that hat for like 15 years, bro.
Yeah,
Like
you still pull it out.
I still pull it out. My wife just started making me not wear it. Like, you look good without that. I'm like, no. I went and bought. I used to like my hair, so I used to have waves and everything. So it's still a hard transition. But
Hey, bald is cool. Women love the baldies, man. I'm bald.
I'm working.
But I like hats though, so I'll be wearing them.
But it was really more of a statement that, you know what, accept us and that we got value. You know what I mean? Don't just judge us because how we look. I'm gonna come looking like the next young man that might come looking at here and he got his hat to the back. Don't judge him because of how he look.
Right.
See what value he brings to the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why I did that for so many years.
Right.
Like people couldn't get me out that hat because again, I wanted to show them like we here. Right. And every inch of my work, again, you say what defines me, again, from me owning restaurants, from me owning over 30 tax offices, for me owning multimedia marketing company for over 20 something years, for me owning the record label for over 20 something years, for me owning cafes. The first one put a cafe inside the Jaguar Range Rover dealership, Waukesha, Wisconsin. Like I created things that people didn't create when I bought the city bus. When I, you know what I mean? Just showing people I'm an artist more than anything.
Right. So let me ask you, like, how do you feel when people say that you have to perfect one thing first and then like move on to the like before you start moving on to something else, or you should stay in one lane? Like,
I just perfect being an artist.
That's dope. Like, so somebody told me one time, like, because I said that, like, you get pitched that a lot, that you should, focus on one thing, and you know what I'm saying. And when I said that, because I was, working on branding and you know what I mean, branding myself as well, just period. And they said like the sun shines everywhere, right? So you can't just box yourself into one thing if you feel like you passionate about it and you had a gift to see it come to, manifest to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just perfect being an artist. I'm a creator.
Yeah.
I can create anything I touch is going to manifest into whatever I visioned it.
Hmm.
So perfect just being that, and don't box yourself into when people ask you, "Hey, what do you do?" and say, "Hey, I'm a this." That's why on most of my business cards it says I'm a visionary.
Yeah.
I'm a visionary. Whatever the fuck come to
That's
my
what I,
mind,
that's what I see
that's
too.
what I'm doing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because that's how I create. I want to wake up every day, and like I say, the greatest thing to do is to wake up and just to be get paid to be you.
Yeah. And it's the toughest thing too at point.
It can be the toughest, but
But
again,
if
it's on how
but
you create your piece.
right.
That's the orchestrating part that I learned. Like, man, I had to learn that. That's been probably been the next last 5 years of my life, learning that part.
Hmm.
Learning how to be like, you know what, it's got a balance.
Yeah.
It got a balance.
I remember we was talking at your crib and we had a little debate about um connecting, like networking, but also knowing your value. You get what I'm saying? So I was saying in the sense like, okay, it'd be cool to get under like a Tyler Perry umbrella, you know what I mean, as a as a
Intern,
crutch, as a stepping stone or
right?
whatever to get to what you actually need to be. And you kind of rebutted like, no, nigga, like you are the Tyler Perry. Like you have to like carry yourself as such.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how do you navigate
Bow.
through that?
That's a good one. I'm
Yeah,
glad you brought that back up.
yeah.
It's like understanding who you are, but where you trying to get to.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can know that I can create a movie and I am just as dope as Tyler Perry. No ifs, ands, but I don't need a Grammy to tell me that. I don't need a million views on the show. My art is just as good as this man's. I know it hands down.
Right.
Again, Tyler Perry has been able to exploit his art in a way that I haven't been able to. So I understand that I understand that I have to play a position until I can be able to position myself to say that you know what, I don't need a Tyler Perry because I already been Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
So it's not that don't, because I hate this word, I don't use this word at all, humble.
Yeah.
Like that
That's another topic we gonna get to.
we not gonna use that word ever.
Humble.
Humble ever,
Okay.
because again, I'm never gonna lower who I am for anyone.
Hmm.
So I'm not gonna lower myself for no Tyler Perry.
Right.
I'm gonna respect Tyler Perry. I'm gonna respect what he's done. I'm gonna admire him. I'm gonna be a fan. I'm gonna give him his flowers. I'm gonna give him everything. But I'm not gonna lower myself to make him feel better.
What do you consider lowering yourself though? Like what would
Well,
be considered?
if you ask me, is my art just as good as Tyler Perry's? I would tell you absolutely.
Does it take um the masses to solidify that? Like
Not
because
for me.
right for you, but if you sitting there talking to Tyler Perry, right, and you like my shit good as yours, right? Like
Yes.
does it come off as cockiness and like if you try
No,
like
because you know what? Only people who resonate with greatness gonna understand what I mean by that. As a king, if I tell you I'm a king, you ain't gonna think you less of a king because I said I'm
no
one.
no
So if I tell Tyler Perry, yes, my art is just as good as yours.
mhm,
Now, has my art sold more than yours? Nope. Has my art been on TV? Nope. Has my da-da-da. But is
but
it good?
yeah
Absolutely.
okay so the proof is just in showing like the creative part
Well, the other
essentially.
part is when you want to turn it into a business, when you want to turn it into a public thing, when you want to turn it, when you want to start exploiting it and start getting it public.
Mhm.
Like that's when you want to start again. When art turns into business, when you start turning to again, you like music, but when you want to get into the music business, then you got to hold up to a whole nother standard.
Mhm.
Again, once I want to start getting into the movie business, I got to uphold to a whole nother standard. Again, I gotta
Right.
start putting up stats though. Now, if I want to talk to this man, but when I want to talk on a basic art creation level, there is no fucking standard. It's fucking art.
You just gotta know you dope. You just
I
gotta know
man,
you fucking dope.
somebody when we looked at again Basquiat paintings before Jay-Z started talking about the shit looked like crap to everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
You gotta have the confidence in yourself that you just the shit. Like
Come
for
on,
real.
man. Let's be honest. People didn't like that shit. But again, when somebody starts giving it value because of people that you see as value, then now we start looking at it. Oh, like that's a come on, man. We wasn't on that. Come on, somebody exposed us to that. We started understanding the value in that, and then we started diving into the history and figured it all out. But yeah, man, he was dope when he was alive.
Is influence like the new power right now? Do you think?
For a lot of people, it's a dopamine. They need the likes, the comments, and they need all that to feel validated. A
Uh-huh.
true God don't.
Right. Right. Um, man, how did you get your first break in the music industry?
Uh, my first break in the music industry was when I went to after I was I was the youngest CEO in music and from I guess from the source. That's what they called me. Uh, when after I got that interview, I had a song on the radio, blah blah blah. We was pumping. Um, I ended up going to New York with my boy Malcolm. My boy started exposing me to the country. My boy Malcolm,
Mm-hmm.
he do airbrush. He was an airbrush artist, and his mom had passed at 9 years old, and he had been airbrushing on corners and building businesses ever since he was 9 years old. And he used to come to my basement. He used to be like, "Bro, you dope, but you need to get the fuck up out of here." I'm
Yeah.
like, "What?" And I used to think like, "What you mean? I ain't got no money to leave." And I'm thinking in my head of all these things that I must have before you can travel. And he like, "Bro, let's just go."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What?" So he took me to Miami for the first time. Right? We drove all the way to Miami, and as soon as like we was like 10 minutes in Miami, I seen two brothers, bro, like banging two Bentleys, just swerving. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like dancing in
Yeah.
the street. And in my head, I'm like, they just like me. They young.
Yeah. Getting
That's the
to it
first
though.
time I actually seen in my face black people looking like me driving a car like that and having fun like this ain't nothing. Like, and I said,
Just
man, one
getting
day
to it.
I got that got to be me one day.
Yeah.
Like, not that I want to be acting a fool in the street like that, but I want to act a fool in the street like
Right.
that. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? Keep it 100.
On the real.
Like, I wanted that. So that's the first time I started seeing it. And then when I first started 3D Entertainment, my partner was Carl Morrow. He was a radio personality from V100. He used to run Mellow
Yeah, I remember Carl. Man, listen, if you
Moves.
from Milwaukee, you remember Carl Morrow on
Yes.
Mellow Moves.
Yes. He helped me get. Anyway.
Shout out, shout out to Carl Morrow.
Shout out to my boy. But he was the first. He was my barber though. But he ended up becoming my business partner. And
Dope.
he took me to the GCI, my first WGCI conference in Chicago.
Okay.
And that's the first time when I first saw Jay, right? They was promoting Beans at the time. This is when Beans just came out. Beanie Siegel, they got the rap buses and everything. This is my first time laying eyes on any of this.
Yeah.
I was actually too young to be there, but I got there with Carl, and because he was part of the station, they was their sister station. I was able to get in. It was in the Hyatt, and when I laid eyes on this man, the first thing I just could think was like he was a man like me.
Yeah. You talking about Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, he's a man like me.
Like dog ain't no different. He put his pants on.
We see this on TV and all that because we ain't had no internet then, but we see this on TV.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he a man like me. So that's what just gave me a lot more belief in myself. Like if he can do it, you can do it. And like I say, my testimony as far as entrepreneurship in life was me testing myself that any industry that I touch, that I could make money and break in. Like I could, again, once you understood how to market, once you understood psychology, which is really what marketing is, once you understand that, when you understand the laws of the universe, then you understand like it don't matter what I touch. I don't care what I touch. Anything that I touch will manifest. It don't matter. So I have that inherent belief. I know that to be true. I know that to be real, and it has proven itself numerous times in my life, and that's really what my life really is a testament of. So when you go back and see the high school celebrity, when you see me with Q taking them to BET 3 and 4 times, when you see take me taking Ray Nitty and Sincere on the World Is Watching tour, and we doing 18 countries,
Mhm.
like no deal, no backing, no sponsorship, no nothing, like.
How do like you tell somebody like that don't know how to get started like that's possible though, like because in so many ways it's like okay, yeah, that sound good, but how do you get like actually started with no bread? Like I ain't got no money. How do I start this journey?
Well, where do money come from? And then this is what I learned a long time ago. Somebody told me money comes from, where do money come from? And I'm like, what you mean where money come from? Again, first thing people think trees, right? Like it came from trees, paper, right?
Mhm.
No, money comes from the imagination. Somebody comes up with a thought, they manifest, and it comes into paper, right? Right now,
Mhm.
me and you can come up with a business idea. Like, dog, that'd be dope. We actually put some legs to that shit, and next thing you know, we selling something and somebody giving us some money, right? That
Right.
money came from a thought. That money didn't come from that person. That money came from a thought that we put into an action. And once we understand, because a lot of people go to church, they be talking
Mhm.
about I believe, I believe. You be reading that Bible talking about I believe, but again, you can't pray and worry. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like you can't pray and worry. You can't do both. Either you're gonna believe that God said live abundantly. Da, 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 these are the laws. Either you're gonna believe that or you're gonna think that it's you and you can do it. And if you
Right.
keep thinking that you can do it, you're gonna keep getting the you results.
Stay worried and just stay
Again,
where you at.
fear, again, society runs people off fear, worry, and validation.
Yeah. Validation.
Yeah, everybody need to be validated.
Right.
If I ain't got enough likes, if I ain't got enough subscribers, if I ain't got enough this, then I must not be worth it, huh? This must not be working, huh?
How do you how so one thing you are for sure is the marketing, like a marketing genius. Like
Mm.
you've done some like phenomenal things with marketing. How do you like what is the key to like getting started? Like if you was just like you know what I'm saying, bootstringing it, like you get what I'm saying, like you bootstrapping this thing up,
Mm-hmm.
like what would you say? Like somebody that only got a couple $100, like what would be the first to get their product, their
Again,
business out there?
again, your value don't come from the money that you got. It come from the work that you put in.
Mm-hmm.
It don't come from the money. I get that question a million times. Like, what do you do? First, start believing that you can. That's the I can give you $10,000. You're gonna blow it. It's gonna go away. It's not you're gonna know what to do with it. You're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna know how to reinvest it. You're not gonna know profit margin. You're not gonna know none of that.
Right.
Let's just first start believing that you can. Let's start understanding that everybody around you has a different talent. And that's one thing that I do. Again, people got good shit and people got bad shit. I suck all they good shit. You know what I'm saying? You might got somebody who, again, like I got people who are, you know, brain wizards or people who are, street, you know what I'm saying, know how to run the streets or know how to run a whole gang of niggas.
Yeah.
Again, that's running a whole corporation of people.
Right.
Again, learn how to take the strength from people. You know what I'm saying? If people are aggressive, learn how to take the strength from aggression and understanding that, you know what? It's just understanding how to take control.
Mm-hmm.
Not I want to be in charge. It's understanding that Everybody's around you for a reason, and if you could learn how to take the good and throw away the stuff that you don't want from people, but again, take the good and don't be afraid to serve first. So that's one thing about me. I ain't afraid to go first. What you need from me? What you want from me? You want to come use this? You want to come take that? You want to use my restaurant? You want to hold just whatever? I don't care. Come do it. I'm okay with going first.
Right. Now, we talked about that as well, about how, because I'm a giver as well, how that has been kind of a gift and a curse. But what I've realized is that even when it feels like a curse, it's just a storm that I'm weathering, and then I get blessed tenfold on the other side. Like a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
like because I've went first and gave all, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like you said this before too, like you've got to a point where things need to be somewhat reciprocated now. Do you feel that way wholeheartedly, or if somebody's not in a position of reciprocation, you know what I mean? Are you still willing to give, considering what you've been through?
That's a good
You
question,
know?
but I understand how to separate it. It's again if it's business or if it's personal. So
Okay.
like when I do the early bird morning show, the early bird morning show is personal, so that's why I don't care about getting no money from it.
Hmm.
It's personal. I'd rather give that gift away. I don't care to suck a dollar from the early bird morning show.
Hmm.
But if you want to talk about the LMBN, you gotta pay me for my expertise.
It's levels to the shit.
It's levels to this. Again, you get to decide how much charity donation you want to give away in a year and how much you don't. You don't owe the world just giving away everything.
Yeah. So how do you feel about people that want it? They want what you sell for free. Like you give a lot of game. You get what I'm saying? But they want what you have now. Like, how do you deal with people like that, especially family?
Well, again, I learned long time ago. Don't again, family. When I first started my tax service, right? Not a person in my family, not even my mama did her taxes with me.
Hmm.
Wouldn't even touch it, right?
That was your decision. Was
That
that
was
decision?
their decision. I
Okay.
tried to get them to do their taxes with me. They
Oh, they
wouldn't.
just wasn't fucking
No,
with
they wasn't fucking with me. They wasn't fucking with me. It took like
That's how it
4 years before they actually was like, okay, he's still in business, huh? He must ain't nobody. He ain't went to jail. Ain't nobody tried to kill him.
Do you think that's a cultural thing, like black people, like because like it's I'm asking a lot of questions,
No,
but
it's cool.
like
Hey,
but we
it's
touching
all
on the subject shit,
psychology,
like,
though. Yes,
for
you
real.
right. Asking a good question because these are right questions for psychology.
Yeah.
And again, I did have my share around. I got some of the best white friends ever. But one thing I do notice about certain cultures versus certain cultures will trust you until you give them a reason not
Not to
to.
trust you.
And certain cultures don't trust you until you give them a reason to.
To trust them.
So
What did black folks do?
they don't trust you until you give them a reason
To
to.
trust you.
But I've been around white folks who I met in 30 seconds who will bring you home and be like, hey, Karen, I just met him at the park. And you in the house with all the kids and the dog. And you will be sitting there like, it just brought me to his daughter's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been there. But again, they trust you. Why shouldn't I trust you?
Yeah.
Because we've been hurt and damaged and burnt so much, we like, fuck that. I ain't fucking with you. Give me a reason to fuck with you.
Nah.
You got to prove that shit for like 10 years.
Now let me ask you: do you operate as such with black people? Like, do you operate accordingly? How we don't trust you until we have a right to
I
do
don't.
it.
That's what, again, sometimes when you say you get that disappointment feeling, because then you say, like, man, I fuck with people sometimes how you wish that they would fuck with you.
And you end up getting burnt sometimes.
But that ain't burnt. That's what we gotta retransform in our mind. because again, when it's your calling and your gift to do that, again, that's what you're supposed to do anyway. You wasn't supposed to get
Yeah.
paid anyway because your payment wasn't coming from a person; it was coming from somewhere else.
Right.
So
So you
again, you looked for it from, you had an expectation that messed you up.
right. So you should take it as such each time.
Again,
Like
if it's personal, if it's business, again, it's a different thing. Yo, it's things in place. There's things in line to make sure that we don't get have that problem. Or if we do have that problem, yo, we can go back to the table or your ass get sued. But
right. So let me ask you with that because like and sometimes with business, if the numbers ain't that much to be sued over, you get what I'm saying? Like and then with like that can also tarnish like relationships as well that you could possibly still build
that's why
on.
they say pick your battles.
Right. So right. So this is why I was gonna ask you because I'm sure you've been in a lot of little bullshit
What?
business situations that you should have been like you like damn, but I'm gonna just keep on moving forward with this motherfucker because I see more value in them.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I've been in a lot of those situations, and you do got to pay the balancing tables. But one thing I learned is that one, you got to teach people how to do business with you. So again, from the door, sometimes we just think people know how to do business. They don't. You got to teach people how to do business with you. And one other thing is I refuse to do business if I don't like you.
Yeah. So
I don't care how much you paying me. Again, because a lot of times we thinking about the money, we think about the hustle, we think about the come up. I don't care how much you paying me. If I don't like you, I ain't doing business with you.
so you gotta personally like them,
And not a personal like, but
but
again,
how they do business.
right. If I don't like how you do business, if you disrespectful, my staff is like, you calling us, we ain't doing business with you. Just cut him off. Next. We ain't gotta do business with you. We ain't gotta deal with that.
Right.
Again, if you skeptical, again, because I'm not in the begging, I'm not in the convincing business.
Right.
That ain't one of the businesses I signed up for. I ain't got no LLC in neither one of them. So if you ain't subscribing to what we doing, then again, the world is a beautiful and big place. Go find something else that's that suit you. Because again, we not convincing and begging nobody. If you won't, again, if you like our integrity, because my integrity is everything, and that's why I build my pride on is making sure that just everything is integral. Like we gonna make sure our morals and values, and you just not getting over and not delivering no value, and that's what I be seeing a lot of people be just running to fads and not getting no value, and then spinning their wheels and burning their own self, but then want to blame the industry, but really they ain't do enough homework to even see that what they bought from this one person or that person, like why you do that?
Right.
Like,
Right.
so
You gotta do your due diligence always in business. Like
I don't want to do videos with you because the last video dude
right.
didn't give me my footage, or he took 50 weeks. Man, I ain't get my stuff 2.5 years later before he was done editing. Now they putting that on you.
Right.
I've been through
Right.
all that. Flyers. Remember we used to do flyers. Man, flyers that got down to $50. Like you designing a whole creative art piece for $50 is taking you like 6, 7, 8 hours.
Yeah.
Nah, we ain't doing that no more. Like
Right.
editing the video. How many hours you behind that camera? How many hours you behind that? Now forget the camera. How many hours you behind that
The
screen?
and not to mention the skill set that you have to pay for. Like that's why it's
All the learning,
yeah.
how to color correct, learning how to use After Effects and how to use a video animation.
Right.
Like that ain't just like some button that I pushed.
The, so when you that I think that's the we talked about that as well, like how in the urban community those skills aren't valued as such because you'll have that skill set right and you know what all it takes, but then you'll have like this up and coming person that'll do it for a fraction of the cost that you really supposed to be getting it for.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so how do you differentiate you as the like. You get what I mean? Like,
I understand that because technology had a lot to do with that.
oh, and technology, like we're not even gonna speak on how easy
Come
it
on, man.
is.
Back in my day, man, when we had Photoshop, we had to actually use the pen tool to cut somebody out.
Yeah,
Like now, it's just the magic wand and say select subject. It's
on the phone though.
like on a phone, right? So sometimes you gotta understand that technology gonna head in a way to make it one user friendly,
Mhm.
so that they can get more people using their products, and you gotta be able to adapt with technology and understand.
How do you adapt with technology? Like, cause you ventured off in so
Don't
many
fight
different.
it.
Don't fight it.
Don't
Adjust
fight
to it.
it.
So you when you venture off into these different businesses, how do you use technology to keep to keep ahead, like to stay relevant?
Well, understand what you got that they don't got. What you got that they don't got,
You could talk to the people.
and what else you got that they don't got? What's the difference between being smart and wise?
Wisdom is time. Like you have time to develop
You
over
close.
the years.
You close. You good. You close.
Okay.
Smart is knowing some information.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is knowing how to use that information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Smart is just knowing some information.
Right.
Wisdom is knowing how to use that information.
Applied information.
When you know how to use the information, because you understand the history of where this information come from versus somebody who just bought an app,
Right.
it makes you a lot more valuable.
Mm.
So again, yeah, you might can do the same thing I can do, but you can't understand the concept. You can't understand the depth and the meaning of the, you know what I mean? It's just like
So,
music theory. It's
right.
like design theory. So it gets understanding the origin and just understanding, the principles of design.
So you going back to the seeds that was planted, like you just referenced to the AOL shit, like
You think Microsoft or a big company is paying somebody who creating their logos and they apps off their phone? No, they want to know
they
somebody.
want to know somebody that could do that shit to make it consumer friendly.
Exactly. And that's
Right.
all psychology.
Right. Right.
How to make people move, what colors make people move, how do you need to place things on the page to make people move, what call to actions you need to have on this page to make people move. Again, this is a whole system of things of consumer to make you purchase and do things. So again, depends on if we personal or business, depends on what we.
What because I already know you read some books on like the psychology of marketing or something like that. Like what books or what, like where did you get your knowledge on that? Because knowing that is lacked in so many areas. Like just the power of knowing the psychology of marketing, like it can really change the trajectory of like a lot of people from the music industry. 'Cause,
Right.
like shit, 90% of niggas think that is 90% creative and 10% business as opposed to vice versa.
Right.
So like, let's get like, what books did you read to learn like the psychology of marketing?
I didn't read a lot of books.
You didn't.
Honestly, I didn't. I did.
So how did you learn?
I did do a lot of video. I'm a video dude, so I watch or I do a lot of audio that I listen to. The first thing that first introduced me to what the laws of attraction and all that stuff was the Secret. I did watch The Secret. I didn't read the book The Secret, which I hear goes way more in depth, but I end up going deep diving in that rabbit hole, went to the laws of Abraham. But then once you start understanding, it's really about human behavior. It ain't really about the laws of marketing. It's about human behavior. When people do this, like, you got some chapstick?
I sure don't know, but yeah.
Hold on. Let me see. I need some chapstick.
I guess get some.
Don't worry about it. But you ever notice if you ever put on chapstick,
Mm-hmm.
you see other people lick their lips?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you damn near made me look.
I know you was almost there.
Like that.
I ain't want you to get up though. I ain't want you to get up off the camera.
Hey,
But
I was,
no, straight up. If you put on chapstick, be like, man, my lips chapped. Watch everybody else in the room lick their lips.
Right.
Why does that happen? That's human behavior. That's a program, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been programmed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody checking their lips at that point.
Right.
When you start understanding human behavior, then you start saying, because when you rich and wealthy and money is not an object, you trying to figure out some other shit, right? Trying to figure out how to make people move. You trying to figure out how to take over the world. How do I get everybody to agree? How do I get them to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To go along with what I need them to go along with. Let me study human behavior. Damn, when everybody around this color, everybody happy. Ooh, when violence on TV, people they like that shit. But while they doing that shit, I could be doing this shit.
Right.
Human behavior. So once you start understanding human behavior, then you start understanding, damn, how can I use that to promote my business? Because that's all they do, target everything. Why you think all the fast food restaurants are yellow and red?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That
it's all yellow and red. A lot of them yellow and red. Why? Because those are the appetite. Those are the hunger. Those are the urgency. Those are those colors for fast food.
Yeah. I just left the Revolt conference, and Jeezy was talking, and he was talking about his book, but he had some real gems like that. He was saying, like, for one, he said the power of speaking to people outside your ethnicity. You get what I'm saying? And then also, he was talking about his journey as far as like building his brand, and what he said was like, he was going from like city to city, like giving like his shit out for free. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like just to make those connections or whatever. And so at the end of the segment, he said everybody in the crowd gets his book. So he gave everybody in the crowd his book, Adversity for Sale. Everybody that was there in attendance. And I thought about that because I'm like, damn, he just dropped the gym, like, and then did the gym. He said, like, look, I gave this shit out for free. You get what I'm saying? And that's what made me pop. And then he gives his book out for free to the whole audience. So we essentially walking around marketing him, because what do it make everyone? You see one person with it, you gonna wanna, hey, where you get that? So the whole Revolt grounds is seeing everybody.
I'm gonna tell you where that came from. Well, not where it came from. I can't say where it came from, but one place where I learned that from. Carnivals. Me and my boy Malcolm, we used to do airbrush t-shirts, right? And we used to do our t-shirts, and he'll paint like a Winnie the Pooh, whatever the case, whatever you want on the shirt. We'll heat press it, fold that nice, put it in a bag, and let you walk on your way. We had a guy named Richard who pulled up on the side of us. He had a big trailer, and we noticed this dude had 1 million hangers. He had these clear bags. And every time he would get done with a shirt after he heat press it, he put it on a hanger and he'd give it to him in a clear bag. And we was like, why was he doing that? Because now when you walk around this carnival, guess how you walking around?
With the hanger in the bag.
You holding it up because you don't want it to hit the ground.
Right.
So now you holding up that you got this airbrush t-shirt walking through the carnival, bro.
Right.
So it was kind of the same thing.
Right,
so now, Jeezy got everybody walk. Everybody he see gonna see because again, the law again.
That's why I touched them.
It takes now it's like 7 to 10 impressions before people make a buying decision. So them impressions can be, I saw your book once. I saw the interview. I watched you live. I seen it on Facebook. I seen it on Instagram. I seen it on, however those interactions come. So he's sped up the process of you being recognizable to his image.
Right.
So again, now next time I drop something, you gonna buy it because now you know what I'm saying. You feel I wasn't afraid to go first.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely a marketing. That's definitely a marketing.
And it's no different from the show. I know you ain't sell dope or nothing, but like
test.
It was just, yeah. But it's the same thing. Like I've done it. Like, hey, listen, this is what I got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Here, this on me. You get what I mean? Make them feel good about it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they coming to spend the bag.
That's why I tell them. That's why I never gave up on my streets. People understand why I go from the block to the boardroom and back to the block is because that's where all the businessmen are.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Like, you was smart not to take them penitentiary chances that a lot of people did, but you took the knowledge of knowing the entrepreneurship.
Yeah, let me show y'all, bro, and let me sit here with y'all and let y'all know this can happen right here with y'all and where y'all at.
Right.
I'm buying Porsches, I'm buying Bentleys, I'm buying all that shit on Atkinson.
Yeah, he definitely was. Range Rovers. All
Everything I bought was on Atkinson. Now everybody over there buying foreigns. Mm-hmm. They wasn't buying. They told me not move before you go buy something like that. No.
What do you feel about that? Like, you so connected to your hood. Like, you get what I mean? Like, do you think you gotta leave the hood?
I'm more comfortable in the hood.
But like, does it depend on the industry that you're in?
Nope. It don't matter where on the planet I'm at.
Is that just for you, or I'm just saying, like, because we seen in so many instances, especially in hip hop, where people go back to their hoods and then shit.
Depends on how you was vibrating in your hood. Again, anybody who know me ain't gonna have no story. I took nothing, stole nothing, robbed nothing, got over on. Again, I don't vibrate like that. So anytime a nigga gonna talk about me, gonna talk about, oh, that's the nigga who helped or who made my dream for real or helped me realize, ain't gonna be no that. So again, I don't have to worry about that. And that's what, because again, I always knew, again, I grew up an only child. So I knew I was gonna be walking around by myself. And I don't got time to be going like this because it ain't enough me to fight enough them. Right. So again, let me help enough them so they can protect enough me.
Right. Let me ask, so is it in a matter of how you carry yourself as well? Because I know some guys that, was stand-up guys, you get what I'm saying? They helped out, and they end up getting, murked just because of how they, like, really carried themselves. Like, do you carry yourself like your money can't be touched? Like,
hell no. Anybody can be touched. That's why I tell you.
No, what I'm saying in the sense
go
of
both ways.
Right. But what I'm saying in the sense of where your money can't be touched is where, like, you're not flashy with it. Like, you're not showing it tangible. You're showing it in the sense of where you can get it corporately as opposed to getting it street. Because I think that makes a difference in a lot of sense. And it leaves, like, a lot of young niggas with fair game. This is my perspective on that. Like,
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying? So I never, even when I had large amounts of cash on me, if I'm rocking around, driving my cars with jewelry, whatever the case, I never felt like I had to watch somebody from jacking me.
Is it because, like, well,
I think it is because of how I carry myself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how you carry yourself, like, really, like, plays a whole role in, like, your
they protect you. I think they protect you when you know, like, nigga, like, I'm a part of the game, but I ain't playing the game.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I was really getting to, that it becomes like fair game when somebody knows that you getting it illegally. Yeah. So they feel like, oh, nigga, I catch you slipping, and nigga, if you die, then you die. If you get popped out here, as opposed to somebody that they know is getting it more legitimate, and that's kind of like,
if it's more legitimate, they know that shit might be in the house,
right?
And they know that shit.
Right?
They go to 18.
We gotta go get 500.
We gotta write a check with this nigga.
That's what I'm saying. And, I'm thinking like a street nigga. A street nigga don't think, oh, he getting some legal money, man. That nigga ain't gonna have no paper on him.
He gonna have nothing in that motherfucker out.
That motherfucker, we got to go to the ATM and try to bust down 500.
We gotta keep him for 4 days and ask for a ransom.
Right, but a street nigga, they gonna automatically assume, bam, that nigga ain't got that money in ain't no bank. That shit right at the crib. We going to, man.
But even if I was legal, but if I was like flashing that shit on Facebook, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand where you at. You can't be flashing Thanksgiving where niggas ain't eating at.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You can't be coming over here with big ass turkeys and niggas over here starving. Stop playing. Like, understand, like, it's a respect there you gotta have.
Yeah.
And even though that I was able to do what I was able to do and get it how I'm getting it, I was still had a respect. Like, nigga, I ain't gonna tell nigga. I'm letting them drive the Porsches. I'm letting them drive the Beamers. I'm letting them drive the. I'm letting them. Go ahead, my nigga, young nigga. Go feel that shit. Go see what that shit feel like.
Right.
Go ride that shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Let them feel like they respect you more, nigga. I ain't here to say nah nah boo boo. No, I'm here to say I did it. You too.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
One of my favorite stories that you like to share is when you speak on letting them feel that luxury feeling, like, like, oh, this is really possible,
Yeah.
is when you bought your daughter her first car.
Yeah, I used to take my kids to the luxury car dealerships all while they was growing up. Again, to manifest what you want, you gotta be specific with the universe. That's why I say you gotta place your order and pick it up. But if you keep saying life, Lord, I want to move up in life. He gonna take you from the first floor of your apartment building to the sixth floor of that same apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna be like, this ain't the moving up. I want it, right? but
Right.
you wasn't specific enough
Right.
with the universe to let the universe know what you want.
Right. Exactly.
Because you don't know what you want. So if you confused, we confused, it's confused. And like I say the world is watching, but the world is watching really means just God sees all.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you God's child and I'm God's child, then if God sees everything, guess what? I see it too. So when we got that intuition, like something ain't right about dude, or that's nigga, that's God talking. You know something ain't right. So to understand, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you just gotta move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta move right. And just understand that. What was you talking about? I forgot.
Yeah, no. The when you bought your daughter her first
Oh,
car.
so I took it to the car lots, and they was 6, 7 years old, and I used to take them so they could see what that feel like. I want them to feel the leather, touch the steering wheel. Yo, we test drive the car because all you need is a driver's license to test any car you want, right?
Right.
So just go to the car line, let's test drive, right? You see daddy, you on the passenger side, let's make pretend, because again, we're gonna send these specific requests to the universe.
Right.
And it was just ironic how when they was 6 and 7 years old, they took a picture inside of a Mercedes Benz. And my daughter's first car when she graduated high school was a Mercedes Benz. And I took a picture of her and her sister in the car. And it was like they posed for the same picture in a different car, but it wasn't even planned out. And we forgot we even took the picture 10 years ago prior. And then I just end up finding that in, like, you know how Google Photos archive your whole life.
Yeah,
You didn't even
yeah.
know. So I went back and I seen that photo, and then I seen the current photo, and it was like posed in the exact same way. And if you could show that photo, we could show that photo here.
Yeah,
But
you got to send it to me. I'll definitely show.
yeah,
That's
we'll show
dope.
that photo. But yeah, man, just showing how the power of manifestation. Like when I first seen it, my tears came to my eyes because I'm like, this shit really worked.
Yeah,
Like it was like realization, like,
that's crazy.
fuck, this shit worked.
Yeah,
Like you be like, and then you start understanding that, damn, if I got the power, I can play with it. Then I can use this for my benefit. Let me start manifesting what I want. Let me start really being specific about my request to the universe. If this really worked, let me stop worrying. Let me just start requesting,
right.
and let me start moving in the world of my request. It'll never gonna fail me then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna fail me. Nowhere on planet is it gonna fail you. You just gotta know that, you know what? It might be stripped. You might be up. You might go all the way back down. But it's still working.
It's still
So
working.
you gotta understand that, you know what? Understand your time, understand your test during that time, understand your lessons that you're supposed to be learning, understand who you are, understand your purpose, and understand that's where you're supposed to get paid at.
Man, that's so powerful. I wanted to ask you, like, how important is adversity in your journey, but I think you just summed that
Man,
up.
I've been everybody been adverse. I mean, I never felt like I had camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like I always felt like I had to go. And as a visionary, this is what I had to understand. If you're a visionary, that always means you was out first. It means you saw stuff that people didn't see, and when you had that conversation with God, nobody else was around but you and God. So why you expecting everybody else to get it?
Right.
So
Right.
understand, you got to just keep leading, and the reason you keep getting shot in the back is because you had it up there first.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna get shot in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, damn, this shit hurt from family, from friends, from people you helped, from people you thought was gonna have your back. They stabbing you in the back sometime, and you got to be like, you know what? I'm a leader. I'm supposed to, again, they say God ain't gonna put more on you can bear. Again, I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna keep showing them, and I'm gonna keep walking into where I'm supposed to be. Now, when I understand that, okay, Control Alt Delete, like I say in my show each and every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start deleting.
Shout out to the Early Birds morning show.
Yeah, new season come out October 2nd, man. The EBTV. Yeah, the world is watching. Mindset motivation each and every morning, 6 a.m.
Make sure y'all tap in.
Yes. 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, each and every morning I say Control Alt Delete, and we got to just start being brave enough to say, you know what? I know I got my A1 since day one, and we got memories and things we did together, but don't mean your A1 since day one supposed to go with you.
Right.
Don't mean that, you know what, all these friends and families that you thought you were supposed to take with you, supposed to be with you on your journey. They got their own journey.
So you don't really feel like you have to cut them off. You just gotta let them go.
Yeah.
On their journey.
And that's been hard for me because I'm a very attachy type of person.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta, again, if they gonna ever grow, even your children, I had to learn this with my children. I got 9 children, bro. Man. So I had to learn this even with my older children. You gotta allow them to develop and grow. You give them the tools and you gotta send them out to use them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got to figure out how to use them. The more you keep using them for them, that's where we getting all this entitled. That's why they feel like you supposed to be doing. You supposed to. I'm so, like, yeah.
So so essentially letting them go is like it's gonna like kill the entitlement and resentment.
The proverb ain't changed. You teach a man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. You show a man how to fish, you feed him for a day.
Right. So how do you deal with it in that moment? Like just the resentment of your success and the entitlement, because I know you get people hitting you up all the time like, man, you say it all the time before they can say it now. Let me hold something. Like
again,
you don't even,
let me hold something. That's why I say it. So you understand that I'm still on the journey too.
Look, he don't even get nobody in check. Look, if y'all know Devon, you know his first greet is let me hold
something.
Is that a defense mechanism?
It was. It did start off as a defense mechanism, but it also, I think it turned into like a common ground thing because everybody out here trying to get it.
Trademark. You need to trademark that shit.
For real. Like the world is watching, huh?
For real.
Because, you know, again, like I said, we all trying to get it. So again, everybody trying to find an investor. The hardest thing to find is somebody who believes in your dream as much as you.
Man, tell them.
That's the hardest thing to find. The hardest thing to find is to find somebody who believes in your dream just as much as you.
How do you make them believe? How do
don't
you
make them? It's not your job to make. Again, we trying to take a job that don't belong to us. That's God's job.
It's God's job.
It's your job just to keep walking in your. Again, stop expecting. Stop thinking that everybody's supposed to. No, you supposed to walk in this purpose and this gift. It's singular. It's for you. Stop expecting, because again, just like you said, when you was been watching all these other podcasts and when you've been going and being behind the scenes, you said all they doing is just being they self.
Just being they self, bro.
So let's just be ourselves.
Right.
Because what makes ourselves not good as they self?
Facts. Does consistency play a major role?
Absolutely. So consistently believe in yourself.
Yeah.
That's what we like about Dame Dash and all these guys. You know what I'm saying? They ain't been like that since backstage, bro.
Yeah. He ain't really switched up. He
been telling y'all.
He just settled down.
He been telling y'all, stay independent, keep your shit, put your own money. He been saying that since backstage. Stayed.
Dog.
When he was mad when they came in with the Def Jam leather jackets, bro. He was hot.
Facts.
Don't come here with
When he
these
was
Def.
snapping.
Y'all not signed to Def Jam.
my
Y'all
life.
signed to Rockefeller.
Oh, the real.
They sending y'all Def Jam. Bro, he been telling you the same message since then, bro.
No,
On
facts. Shout
your
out
shit.
to Dame. Cause for real, hey, man, we got so much to talk about. Listen, we gonna keep rolling, but man, cause we in the moment. But dog, on the music shit, bro.
Whoa.
I like that part where our city is kind of behind, cause you got some very talented people still preaching. I got signed, or you get what I'm saying. They aspiring to be signed, and I think Dame Dash said something that stuck with me, and I'm gonna stick with this shit. He was like, "You niggas bragging about being signed to another man, like you get what I'm saying? Like
You gotta
what do you
ask
think-
another man if your kids can eat.
if your kids can eat. Like, what do you think about that? Because some people, it's subjective. Some people feel like, okay, I'm going to be signed to use this to be independent or get the exposure, so to speak.
Knowing how to leverage and knowing when you are dependent of is something totally different.
Yeah,
And that's where people don't know the line between I can leverage a relationship, don't mean I'm dependent of a relationship.
explain that.
So I can leverage a relationship. Me and you do business together. I got my company, you got your company. We bring our companies together. We do something big together. But again, if we don't do this business over here or not, don't mean my company failing or yours ain't either.
Right.
We're not dependent on this relationship.
Right.
We're independent of the relationship. We're self-sustaining. We know how to collab and leverage each other, saying, you know what? Being on your podcast can leverage me doing this.
Right.
And me being on your podcast, the content could help you get da-da-da. So it's a leverage of, it's an exchange. Everybody using everybody. So yeah, I never frowned upon that.
Yeah. Man, what else did I want to ask you? So leveraging relationships.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So like I said, I never frowned upon leveraging a relationship. I just don't depend on a relationship. Don't make a man dependent, and that's why again, when we did the Q movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we went to L.A., rest in peace, Curve.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know Curve Music. He used to be one of Dr. Dre producers, Alicia Keys, Bruno Mars, everybody. So we was in one of his studios, right? And Curve, I'm trying to remember where I was going with this story.
With the leveraging relationships. So you said when you was on the Q movement and how to leverage those relationships that you was.
I can't remember where we was going with that, but I don't remember where I was going.
That's all right. We've been drinking a little bit.
I've been drinking a little bit.
But no, I wanted to really touch on that as far as like I think essentially a lot of people, especially from our city, they look for.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
With that.
Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. Yeah, independency. So
we was talking about independent. So I remember that when we went down the Curve and they wanted to control the situation with Q, right? At this time, I had been studying people like Tech Nine. Tech Nine was the #1 independent artist in the world, right? And the crazy part is, ironically, out the blue, we get a phone call to be on part of Tech Nine tour.
Oh wow!
Right? So now we on tour with Tech Nine independently. We ain't signed to nobody. They tried to make us feel like we needed to be signed in order to, get this traction.
Yeah.
We already hit BET 4 times independently.
Yeah.
We hit Billboard magazine independently. Now the crazy part was, I was really trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
The bullshit, it was a personal vendetta against what I had been through musically with other artists. when they feel like that once they blow up, they don't need you no more. And you don't
Right.
put all the money up, you don't put all the design, you don't put all the time up, you
Right.
don't put all the connections and your name and all you done did all this shit yourself to put this person on, and then when they get on, they don't feel they need you no more.
Yeah.
So I was really
Saying that a lot of times.
for real. We've seen that a million times. So in my head, I was questioning myself. It made me question myself, like, was it me or was it them?
Right.
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take somebody who don't know nothing about music. Let me see if I could take them from nothing to something.
Mm-hmm.
So I had accomplished all that in 1 year and 12 months.
Mm.
Took an artist off the bus. They've never been on behind a microphone or in the studio. And now I got him in every major publication, Ebony Jet magazine in the world in 12 months.
Shout out to Q.
Shout out to my boy Q, the young
Which
CEO.
also is your cousin. You found out later.
I found out later it's going to be my cousin. Yup, and he just dropped the Flames album. So
Shout out to Q. Yeah, so on y'all journey, you found out later that was your cousin.
Yeah.
So you found him as an artist. Like, look, I'm gonna just pump some money into you. And then when did you find out he was your actual cousin? Though?
I did find out like 6 months later.
So in a year journey, 6 months down the line, you're like, oh shit, we real cousins.
Yeah, we like real cousins, like like second cousins, like.
Damn, so it was all divine, like it was meant, really. Like, was that your first time meeting Q? Like, how did y'all like meet?
I didn't remember. We was on the city bus. I was on my way to work. I had my son in the car seat on my way to my office, and he was on the bus in the back. And then I think I knew who he was,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "What's up, little dog? I heard you be rapping or something." And he like, "Yeah." And my other cousin, was managing him at the time.
Mm.
And he brought him to me, like, yo, man, listen to dude. And I'm like, this little dude cold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's work them together. But they ain't want to put no money up.
Yeah,
So I'm like, I'm working them by myself. So that's how he ended up basically being with me. But yeah, I didn't know.
To this day.
Yeah, it's been over 10
if
years.
you don't see Q and D.
Yeah. 14 years, 15 years.
Damn.
I raised him.
That's crazy,
I
dog.
raised him.
Q had a crazy run, bro. Like,
And he ain't done.
I know, like I said had, but I'm speaking at the heights of, like, cause he's still doing.
It
his
happened
thing.
too fast,
like,
bro.
He's still doing this thing. Got the drip clothing line. I love wearing.
It happened too fast.
But you right, cause y'all dropped the Q and Pizzle. Like I remember that shit coming
P's
out
and
like
Q's.
P's and Q's. That shit was buzzing so hard in the street,
Bro.
and y'all dropped that like in the summer or something.
Bro, I didn't even know it was buzzing that hard in the street. I didn't know that people was really paying attention to it like that.
That shit was buzzing. I was bumping that shit. And then, like, a few months later, Q pop up on fucking 106 in Park, dog. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about, and they, like, it wasn't just like, okay,
Nope.
they gave him
Wasn't
full
no
introduction.
Talent Friday, wasn't none of that. We was in the countdown.
In the countdown.
Independently.
Now, don't get me wrong, like, on one of the other episodes, I gave Cuckoo his flowers or whatever, like, because Cuckoo.
Oh yeah, my projects was definitely on there.
Yeah, but what I also said was that
Shout out Chilla.
Yeah,
we call him Chilla.
It's a lot of people that reached those heights that people ain't shining the light on, and Q. Definitely, like, you get what I'm saying?
Right. And the only thing was different with our movement is that it was strictly independent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Cuckoo was Tommy Boy, right?
Yeah, he was with Tommy Boy at the time. So, again, it was just a grind of just straight with nothing, no body, no backing, no dope dealer money, no nothing. Like, just three niggas in a broke down car just making it happen. Like, in 12 months, every fucking major publication in the world calling us. Like,
That's crazy.
It was dope, bro. It was dope like that. So again, it just taught me that we didn't need that. It taught me that we got all the talent and all the resources that we need to make ourselves corporations and not just somebody's puppet, not just somebody's talent for the moment. You can do music as long as you want to. There's an audience out there for you somewhere. Just because it ain't on 105 or whatever these other stations, don't mean that it's not good. It's so much music that we never hear that people will go to 100,000 people will go and jam out a stadium and go see and listen to.
Right.
So don't give your music those limits of if my neighborhood, if my block, if my people ain't listening to it, it must not be good. They don't like it, put it in a library. Let it be inside of a movie. Let it be
licensing.
Come on, man. There's so much money in music.
Right.
Like I've made millions in music before I even touched any other business.
I'm kind of like hesitant to ask this question, but I'm gonna ask you because it just seemed like you was just born with this shit. But who is your biggest like inspiration? Like who did like coming up? Who did you aspire to be?
No bullshit, Puffy. Puffy was the only one. Diddy was the only one who was bringing that creativity not just to music but to the stage. Like you couldn't wait to see what Diddy was gonna do. He had people on pogo sticks, like, and then I remember a quote from Diddy. He says, "The conformity of art is like death."
Mm.
So it was like conforming yourself for any other, for some money or for something else is like dying. And that's how I felt. Like I'm not conforming my art. I'm not conforming who I am. If I gotta do this shit by myself for the rest of my life, I will. Don't care.
Diddy and Dame are kind of one of the same.
Dame had that business and that confidence of like I can build my own corporation. Like we go to Trump Towers, he was like, nigga, it could be fucking Dent Towers. Like he give you that belief, and that's what kind of give me the belief of why I bought the goddamn city bus. Like, what you doing with a city bus, nigga? I bought the city bus so that young niggas know that, yo, we can buy those too.
Buy those.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't think we can buy those that type of things. We can't buy no air. Yes, you can go buy one of them too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I bought the city bus.
Right. You mentioned Diddy. Diddy's still doing this thing. Like
Killing
I said,
him.
Man, that album banging.
I think if I'd have knew who I was during that time, I'd have gave Diddy a run for his money.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it.
Diddy, he was just at the Revolt conference,
killing.
He just walked through like through the crowd. But this the funny thing that I noticed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he got this album out, and I was telling my wife this. I was like, I bet you he he had something to say. So he walking through, and really no music is playing or nothing, right? He just walking through, showing love to the crowd and shit. But the next day, the very next day, all you hear the whole day in every damn studio is his album. So I'm like, he made a call. Like, why y'all ain't playing the love? Why y'all ain't playing this damn album all through this motherfucker? And I'll like essentially run Revolt. But like 2 days of the whole conference, you didn't really hear the album throughout the whole part. Like
until that day.
Until that day. The next day, they played the shit like it was on repeat. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the conformity of art. Like, no, you better put this out there.
Program these people. I got all these people. That's why I used to tell artists all the time. They go to these shows, even on a local level. They'll go to a club and there's 200 people there, and they won't bring no flyer. Mm-hmm. They won't let nobody know that they was there. They ain't letting people, quote unquote, take them home with them no type of way because they ain't selling nothing, no merch, no nothing.
Yeah.
How are you thinking people are supposed to remember you?
And know you. That's another thing I learned so much at that conference, bro. Like, shout out to the Revolt conference because I seen a lot of people that I think we lack a lot in Milwaukee. Like, we both down here now. We in Georgia trying to, plant seeds to expand to our city as well, because this place is like it's
Oh yeah, I love it.
Georgia is a death place. Shout out to Atlanta.
Shout out to Atlanta.
We down here.
Absolutely.
But
the world is watching. It's about to watch a lot more.
Yes, sir. But what I noticed is that the people that's branding down there, they move as a unit. Like it's a brand called Winergy. Like you seen them all over that part. And when you came to their booth to buy, guess what they did? They clapped and like cheered you on. Woo! Like it was just like they put on a performance.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. And it's like they was moving like even the brands, like if people like the other brand people, they was moving in packs. Like okay, this is that's the clothing brand. They moving in a pack.
One thing I like about people. Atlanta, I bought a shirt here for $95, bro, on a brand I never ever heard of in my life. All but based upon how the presentation was, how confident it was, and it's just how you positioned it. One thing I like about Atlanta is, back in the day, people used to talk about the South. They used to talk about the Chitlin Circuit. They developed a love for themselves. And when you listen to the radio here, you don't really realize you're really listening to all local music.
Yeah, but it's national.
But it's national music.
That's how much.
All off believing in yourself. And believing, believing in your community. And again, like I say, they ain't getting mad because a T.I. and a Lil Baby song playing.
Right.
They gonna rock the Lil
Baby. That's the city.
Listen, and that's the way it could be anywhere else.
Yeah.
If they just believe in themselves and believe in, you know what I mean? Have that confidence in themselves like that.
I ain't gonna hold you too long though, but let me ask you, like, where does Milwaukee like? Cause we born and bred, bro. Like we have like a different love for our city. Y'all see, I got the jersey on. Man, like I've been trying to show this motherfucker. Okay?
Oh man,
like cause we love our city. Like we deeply rooted. So a lot of times we do this shit so we can bring it and like we plant the seeds so it can. Like so the branches and the fruits of our labor can be to the generations that haven't come yet, and to a lot of people that's trying to figure it out right now.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
But we ain't bringing them nothing.
But it's like we bringing it, but how do we make the masses receptive?
What we bringing?
What aren't we bringing? Because we living in our purpose.
Well,
right?
When I say we ain't bringing them nothing, is what we ain't leaving behind. What opportunities did we give them? Again, our ceiling ain't they floor. Everybody's still on the goddamn floor.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be able to raise the bar and then leave them something so that the bar is here so they can take it even further.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on the flow. We got to stop being so stingy and start leveling each other up and being proud of the people that we leveling up in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like when he talked about this at the last award show, he talked about when he got on with Ush and he started, settle down here. He was on the radio, how everybody caught the radio, telling the radio, stop playing that shit. Like, settle down with that settle down shit.
Damn.
Like, what? Like, nigga, y'all should be proud that this dude is here. Like, bro, I was at this award ceremony. We got a Grammy Award winning who writes for Beyonce and all these A-list artists. And we got Looney, who plays for the Golden State God in the same building, in the same city.
Yeah.
And everybody act like it ain't shit.
We need to be pumping each other up. Like
for real?
Like, I see, like, and I said this, like...
What more they got to do? Be on Mars?
But Milwaukee has a tendency to flock to other cities that's, popping at the time. You know that shit, bro.
Come on, man. We seen it. Again, that's why you got meal this, meal that, meal this, because we'll go everywhere else. We'll go everywhere else and support that and be big on that and that. And we'll stick together out there and bullshit. Don't play with us out there.
Yeah.
But again, when we come back home, that same camaraderie don't be there.
Right.
Again, we got
who you think you is.
And we just as talented, just got much flavor and much swag as anybody else on the planet. We just don't got that belief and don't got that camaraderie within ourselves.
Milwaukee got the most sauce, dog. Like we,
Saucy
like we
as
the
hell.
biggest, smallest town.
Everywhere you go, you're gonna find a Milwaukee cat. For real.
Yeah, for real.
No matter where you go on the planet, you're gonna be like a dude gonna pop up and be like, yeah, I'm from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like, what?
For real. Or they got people in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow, yeah, man. I used to be up there, brother. Like, what?
That's
Like,
for real.
Milwaukee, definitely.
If
Again, if we that influential, if we got that much sauce to be everywhere and anywhere, bro, we gotta just bring that back so that the young ones don't lack.
Won't even understand the power that we hold as a whole city. And I wish that we would pour into the people that are actually doing big things as opposed to resenting them. And I don't know if this is just a cultural thing, like it happens to everybody, because I've heard stories from people from different cities that, they build you up to break.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible that you will not, again, you must go away from your home before your riches will flow, something like that. Like, it talks about, somebody just put me on that. And it was like, it's in the Bible that you must go away from your home. And it's not like go away from your home to resent your home. You must go learn other things. You must go discover from other places. You're going to get, again, they say you're going to get rich with strangers.
Right.
Not everybody you came up in the neighborhood with.
Man, listen, this world is so big. Like, it's small, but it's big.
Mm-hmm.
And we've only touched, like, small radiuses. Like, that's why I feel like the earth is my turf. Right now, I'm residing in Atlanta, but we both still got places in Milwaukee.
Oh, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, just because we in Atlanta, again, I practice what I preach.
Right.
I got plenty business in Milwaukee, plenty opportunities, and I still stretch that. And again, I'm back in Milwaukee like 4 times.
Yeah, we both been.
I'll be
we
back
both
2 days.
We moved like at the same time and been there. Like he been there more than me. I've been there every 2 weeks since I moved here.
I'm there like every week.
June. Yeah, he been there every week and everywhere else.
Because again, like you say, the earth is your turf. So let's start traveling the earth.
Yeah.
I got business in Dallas now. I got business in Houston now. And again, like I said, my roots is definitely growing here in Georgia and Atlanta. So, man, it's time. We just got to understand that, nigga, we worth it, we matter, and our talent is just as good and as more, if not as valuable, more valuable than anybody else. So now we got to move in that. We got to understand that, not look at each other like, oh, you just being cocky, you just being arrogant. Nigga, no, nigga, we confident. We can bring that shit. Let me call you and be like, yo, I got this movie set. I know you can do it. I ain't got to call you no more because I know you finna knock that out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of work. Like, and we got to start putting our work on the stage. We can't just be talking about we got the sauce.
Right.
We got to put our work on that stage now.
Fact.
Again, you got to put it in the ring now to compete. Put it in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't get paid for everything.
You ain't gonna get paid. You ain't gonna get paid for everything. So again, that comes with the territory. But getting paid comes with the territory too.
Right. Man, we've been chopping it up. We're going on 3 hours, but shit.
Man, I love it.
We didn't even get into the family shit. Like you recently, married, I joined the Left Hand Band Clan. I ain't got my ring on right now. My wife gonna kick my ass, but we just at the crib chilling.
It's called the Left Hand what?
The Left Hand Band Clan.
Yeah, Left Hand Band Clan. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
I'm already in.
You in?
I'm already
you got the band on the left.
Okay, Left Hand Band Clan.
So yeah,
they have meetings.
Hey, if they do, I ain't been to one. But that's what they tell me. It's called the Left Hand Band.
Okay.
Salute to the wives, man.
Absolutely, my gorgeous.
How's that been? Like,
I love it, man. I married my best friend again.
That's what's up.
Again, I was very specific with the universe, what I wanted and what I needed to prosper in my personal life, and he delivered it. Right. Again, it's another testimony of everything I've been talking about. That's my best friend for real.
Shout out to the therapist.
Therapist Mikhail Dent. Yes, my baby, my gorgeous.
Shout out to
absolutely.
Man, we gonna wrap it up, bro. But let's tell the people what LMBN stands for once.
The Legal Money Business Network. Again. because coming out the hood, again, just being an example that we can get it without doing anything illegal. I created the Legal Money Business Network, showing that we can get millions in the hood, no matter where we are. Again, your environment, you're not a product of your environment. You're just a product in an environment, and you can do whatever you want, whatever you choose. You just got to make sure you're making the right choices. And again, this network is just providing you with the opportunities to be able to do that. So again, we got opportunities for credit, we got opportunities for real estate, we got opportunities for if you want multiple streams of income, if you want to get into other businesses, you want to learn how to market your business. Again, this is where I'm bringing all of my talents, everything that I've learned, all of my resources, people in my circle and network, and this is where we're gonna come help people. Again, there will be classes, there'll be courses. I have an Expect Success Destination coaching session twice a year that we're going to be doing starting in 2024, where we're going to take you to remote destinations and luxurious places, and we're going to transform your mind. We're going to wake up 3 in the morning. We're going to talk. We're going to dig in, and we're going to understand that what, in order for your life to change, you got to start taking you more important, more and more seriously. So if you are important to you, if you love you for real, if you really want to break the generational curses, then what you gonna do today? We don't know what next week gonna get. We don't even know if we're gonna live to next week. We don't know if we're gonna live to next month. So again, what decision you gonna make in these moments, right now, today? And tomorrow, what are we gonna do with it? The time that we do have. So again, we've seen so many people getting taken away from us. We've seen people around us getting taken away from us. One day it's gonna be our time to be taken away. So again, let's make sure that we are making a way for the ones that's coming behind us. Let's make sure that we're leaving that legacy for real and stop just making it a hashtag and a talk and a fad that just sound cute. All right. So yes, that's what this network is about. Be around like-minded individuals and people who really want to see and celebrate you and not just tolerate you. So join the LMBN. It is now free.
Man,
Again, the LMBN
free. You just
is
said
free.
all that,
It's free, man.
and it's free.
It's free now. I used to
Wow,
charge a monthly membership, but now it's free. Join the network for free.
man.
Be a
See,
part of this network. Join in lmbn.net because it is a network. And join for free and be around and learn for free. Because again, I don't get paid from people. I get paid from the universe. So,
man, you better
shout
say
out
it.
to the
Say it.
universe for paying me.
Man, that's so dope, dog. Man, I told y'all we gonna really tap in to some financial literacy, like, and bro, he just gave y'all all this shit for free. He giving you a blueprint, so like all that excuse shit is out the window because the power is in the knowledge. Like if you trying to
That's it.
change your situation right now, like and you just feel like your back against the wall and you like settling for whatever, your 9 to 5 or whatever, like you just gotta open your brain. You gotta open your mindset and just be like, okay, let me tap in because especially and we speaking specifically to like people in Milwaukee because we have such a whole hearted love for our city and we want to see our city flourish and like
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying because a lot of people may see us behind they don't even be knowing there's black people in Milwaukee you know what I'm
Right.
saying
Laverne and
and,
Shirley.
and it's a lot of black people in
A
Milwaukee
ton
that's
of us.
doing big
Don't play
shit
with us.
so this man came on here and gave y'all so many gems and he giving you the opportunity to tap in with his LMBN network and
For free.
for for free.
Join for
Like you
free.
gonna learn how to get to the money for free.
Free. All you gotta do is just join.
He ain't put so much work in. Like he getting passive money like it ain't nothing right now. So
Listen, and I want to show you how to do that. I want to show you how to position yourself. Because again, if I go out here and get hit by a bus, your family, your legacy must live on. So again, come get this information, come get this knowledge, and come grow your family, come grow your business.
that's what's up, man. Dog, there you have it. The one and only Mr. Devon D, the world is watching,
watching.
man. Salute
Hey.
to you. I appreciate you,
Thank
bro.
you, thank you, thank
We
you.
got a whole nother segment we could do.
Absolutely. You know, we could talk tech, we could talk a lot of different things, man. But man, this is dope, man, just to tap in and it might just be a part one, man. So
Man, this is definitely a part 1 of 3. Probably.
absolutely,
Like,
absolutely. We got so
don't-
much to talk about.
Man,
Yeah.
don't be a stranger. Please don't be a stranger, bro, because like I said,
Absolutely.
you have so many gems that you could give to these people. We're going to circle back around and get to it, but
Absolutely.
man, I appreciate you for giving what you have and within this. Like I said, I got probably 2 hours of unrecorded, conversation that we'll think about giving y'all some of them gems as well, but y'all just caught a lot on this episode.
That's what's
So
up.
salute to my big homie, my dog,
Hey.
Devon D.
Hey.
This has been another episode of Convo with Crown. I had to wrap because it's getting late, man. We gonna chop it up
It's
a little
all
more.
good. Hey, make sure y'all tune in. Like I say, the world is watching on YouTube. Like, subscribe to the channel, EBTV, Early Bird Morning Show. It premieres October 2nd, 6 a.m. Make sure you get your mindset and your motivation. And yeah, make sure you tap into the LNBN network, y'all. The world is watching. Give them something to see. You worth it and you matter, y'all. And make sure y'all tune in, Odyssey.com, yo. Make sure y'all catch me on the radio, Hot 105.7 AUDACY.com. Yo, catch me on the morning grind with my boy Promise, y'all. Each and every weekday morning, 7 a.m. live on the radio, y'all. So, yo, make sure y'all tune in, Odyssey.com, Hot 105.7.
That's what's happening. Y'all see this, the man to know, and I'm glad I know. He pulled up on this boy. He came and dropped gems for me.
Yeah.
Man, salute to Devon D. That's been another episode of Convo with Crown. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. You hear me?
Absolutely.
We locked in, and we giving y'all all the game on Convo with Crown. Salute to y'all. 100.
Put your crown up.
Yeah.